Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop1970. This is my review for a day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, it's about time to do my next movie review. And this brand new movie review I want to do is my first Halloween movie review. And I know that Halloween will come out until next month. Well, I decided to bring it earlier in September, I guess. So, for my first Halloween movie review is Dark Shadows, featuring everybody's favorite main man, Johnny Depp. And yes, my friends, this is a Tim Burton film. But I will say this is one of the most underrated Tim Burton films I have ever watched. And it's pretty darn good to me. And since I've watched this movie I guess maybe like 5 or 6 times. I can't remember. But anyway, it's a pretty darn good movie. I'm looking forward to do this movie review, if you know what I mean. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my 39th movie review of Dark Shadows. So the movie starts off with this very understandable dude he may be rich, but he's more like a family man instead of a rich man. But anyway, it's a story about this dude named Barnabas Collins. Barnabas Collins, I hope I got his name right. Barnabas Collins. You know him. He's a guy, he's freaking rich, he may be powerful, but the only thing that he cares about in his life is having a family. And he wants to keep his family legacy alive for all eternity. But as you may know, that his life is about to change forever. Sadly, I think several months ago or something, he lost his most important loved ones who got killed by a mysterious witch who is so darn jealous of Barnabas Collins' loved ones, and she decided to kill them off by force. The first people that this evil witch killed is Barnabas Collins' mother and father. They got involved in some type of accident because one of the part of the building thingy just went down to the ground and hit them both. And the other is Barnabas Collins' true love. She got cursed and went to a hill and she killed herself. And also poor Barnabas Collins is also got involved in the curse because the evil witch had turned him into a vampire. And a vampire who needs to live at night and never survive at the daytime. And also, that evil witch took Barnabas Collins out to the 18th century in a box for only 196 years. And this is where 196 years had finally came to a pass, where, you know, everything changes and, oh yeah, there's a couple Collin family who remains living even to this day. A couple of these people who are blonde hair ones, but there's only one member of the family who has like darkish brownish hair. I don't know. But so yeah, 196 years later, Barnabas Collins finally woke up and see what the heck's going on to the world that he lived in right now, and he wants to find a way to break the curse that he is in for so many years. So there's only a couple of questions remain in this movie. Will Barnabas Collins ever find a way to break his spell? Will he ever find a way to save his family from an evil curse that they're also in for many years? Or how will Barnabas Collins fight that one evil witch, the one who started this whole mess thingy from the beginning of time, I guess. So anyway, that's my whole entire plot of Dark Shadows. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? To tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I really do love this movie. I will say it had a good storyline, has likable characters, has good chemistry, it has some special effects here and there. It had a really good score. I love the costume designs. And you could say this is one of Tim Burton's films that has a bit of cliche moments here and there. And this is one of the most underrated Tim Burton films I have ever watched in my whole entire life. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to the strongest points and the weakest points of Dark Shadows. I will say for the strongest points for this movie is the beginning of the film. I will say the beginning of the film, it was so darn well done, very well detailed, and I really do enjoy the background story of Barnabas Collins' past. I mean, it was so darn well done, and it was pretty well told. And I do feel sorry for Barnabas Collins for losing the people that he loved from that evil hands of that no good witch. And I have nothing else to say about the main beginning of the film. So anyway, the main beginning of the film is truly the most strongest point of the movie. And as for the weakest points of the movie, I only got 3. Just 3 things for this movie. One is Christopher Lee only has a small role in the film. The second one, I do have one of these main problems with with one character, and the other is a couple of cliche moments here and there. The first one I want to talk about is Christopher Lee. I really do like Christopher Lee. He was a pretty good actor, and he was only there for a couple of the Tim Burton films here and there, but I remember him the most when he played Count Dooku from Star Wars Episode 2 and 3. Yeah, my biggest problem with Christopher Lee, to play one of the characters in this movie is he had a very small role. Just this one small role, and he's only there for one scene and that's it. And we never mentioned that dude ever again, and that's a pretty darn sad shame. Okay, as for the second weak point of the movie is the woman named Vicky. I'm confused about her looks and her size. She looks like she's 12. She looks like a 12-year-old. Even the part where when she dressed up, maybe it's around the middle of the film, I guess. I remember the first time we see her, she looks like she's going to school or something. And, yeah. Well, the only thing I can appreciate about Vicky is she is a very matured character. She was very well matured. She used her good manners. She's very well behaved. She did use good manners, and she has a very nice, matured voice. I really do like Vicky. She's a good character, but the main problem I have with her is, how old is she? Is she like 21 or something? But when I look at her, maybe she's 12. And for the third main weak point in the movie is, it has a couple of cliche moments here or there, even a couple of jokes. My 2 biggest problems I have with this movie is, one big problem I have with this movie is in the breakfast scene, the first breakfast scene, you can see Barnabas Collins, he had never ate his first plate of waffle. He just left it there on the plate without any butter, syrup. He never cuts it with a fork and knife. He just left it there on the plate. And I do have one big unknown question I really want to know this very unknown question. Will ever Barnabas Collins can eat his first plate of his waffle? Yeah, I wonder if vampires can eat waffles at the daytime, if you know what I mean. That's one big problem I have with this film. And my second main problem with this movie is, yeah, Alex Cooper is in this movie. Yeah, another big cliche in this movie is that Barnabas Collins is thinking that Alex Cooper is a woman. It's kind of funny, but kind of awkward. It is kind of out of place, but if Barnabas Collins should have looked at Alex Cooper's chest very carefully, he'll find out that Alex Cooper is really a dude and not a woman, if you know what I mean. So anyway, those are my strongest points and the weakest points of Dark Shadows. And now we can go on to the characters in the movie. And I will go with only 3 characters that stand out to me in this movie. First one is Angelique, played by Eva Green. I will say for Angelique, she is a pretty interesting villainess for the movie. I do like her personality, her attitude. I know she has feelings for Barnabas Collins, but I think not close enough. The only problem I have with this character is she's being way too sexy in the movie. I mean, she had a whole lot of sex appeal here and there surround the whole thing of the film, I guess. So I will say she's a pretty good character, but maybe way too over the top for her sex appeal. The next one is Elizabeth Collins, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, that's right. I really love Michelle Pfeiffer as Elizabeth Collins. She is definitely the most serious character in the whole entire movie. I mean, she had a good personality, great attitude. She knows how to take care of her family very, very seriously. And she likes to be the head honcho of the group, I guess. And also, Michelle Pfeiffer is still pretty good at her age, even when she's in her 50s. I mean, she did a really good job playing with this character overall. And now we can go on to the main character of the story, Barnabas Collins, played by the main man named Johnny Depp. I will say this is one of Johnny Depp's best performances that he did so far in his career. I mean, Barnabas Collins has a great storyline. He has a great personality and attitude. He's a very funny character. He's very well designed, very well detailed. And I really do love Johnny Depp playing a vampire in this movie. He's definitely top notch for my taste. And I really do feel sorry for Barnabas for losing his parents and losing the woman that he loved. That happened in the beginning of the movie, but he'll do the best he can to restart his life all over again from scratch. And I have nothing else to say about this movie, so here we go, my final thoughts of Dark Shadows. Overall, Dark Shadows is a really good Halloween movie. It has both good comedy and good horror at the same time. It has a great story. It has a very good storyline, has likable characters, great special effects, has a really interesting score, great costume designs, and this is the most underrated Tim Burton film that you need to watch to believe it. So for my rating from 1 to 10, I decided to give Dark Shadows a 9 out of 10. So please check out this movie to believe it, if you're a big fan of Johnny Depp or Tim Burton. So anyway, that's my whole entire movie review of Dark Shadows. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and join me next time as we are finally going to head on to movie review number 40, as I'm heading back to the movie theaters to see A Walk Among with Tombstones, Liam Neeson's brand new film. So be prepared for that one to come, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara.